Welcome back to In the Box. I'm Sandy Plashkis. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram @OwnersBox and head down below to like, comment, and subscribe to let YouTube know that we are fire. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Joe Kelly laying into Astros players on Ross Stripling's podcast, the Leafs end of the year press conference, the success of the NBA, WNBA, and MLS bubbles, and then we're going to finish the discussion with NBA round one predictions. Let's get right into it. I am joined today by Dev, who is arguably suspended, but still on the podcast today because JB is not here.
I've made the decision to appeal.
He's appealing, and the one and only Jeremy Roach. Today, before we get started, I'd like to mention that In the Box is looking for sponsorships. So we don't have to hold these blue plastic cups in our hands this whole fucking time. So if you're interested, email us. We'll look out for you. Now that that's taken care of, let's get right into it. Let's talk about Devin's suspension. Devin, okay. I'm going to lay the land for our viewers.
Let's fucking talk about it.
They've seen what's gone on. They've seen your terrible picks. Well, JB stepped in and had to take over and, apologize to our listeners. So can you just give us your perspective? Because I feel like you haven't gotten a chance to speak up for yourself.
That's kind of it. I don't think this is quite fair. I haven't gotten a chance to really defend myself. What was there? There was 8 series. I went three for 8. Fuck. But listen,
that didn't help. All right, well, you're already hurting yourself as you started speaking.
Listen, I would have went 4 for 8 had I gone with my head and picked the Blue Jackets anyway. I picked the Leafs because that's what the people want to hear.
Spezza.
Yeah. So I mean, let's say 50%. Let's call it 50%. Just off of technicality.
We call it 25. You call it 50. Yeah. What's the difference?
And I want anybody to come out here and tell me that it shouldn't be 6 out of 8 because, that's the math. Because who the hell picked Montreal to beat Pittsburgh? Nobody. Fucking nobody.
So what you're saying is a lot of people are talking, but they're not backing up their talk. They're just talking out of their ass.
I want to see your bracket.
So based off that, you think your suspension should be terminated?
I mean, you got to own up for your mistakes, but 2 games, come on.
2 episodes, not 10. I mean, two full episodes. I mean, that's a long time. I mean, we're on episode 7 now. That's 2 full episodes that you'll miss. I mean,
nobody wants this seat. Nobody wants to sit here after I've sat in it.
What you're basically saying is no one can handle the smoke like you can, basically.
It's hot seat, man.
It's the hot seat. I mean, I'm here, I'm leading this charge, but it's always nice to have someone to fuck up other than yourself,
Okay.
I mean, you're like the punching bag here, but no one else, what I'm saying is no one else is stepping up.
Nobody takes it as well as I do.
I think, based off that alone, Jeremy, obviously, he made a pick yesterday. Can you tell us about your pick? I mean, you're hotter than both of us, so walk us through that thought process.
Right,
so we started a new Twitter segment, pick of the day, pretty much 1-0 on the year so far. I picked the Columbus. I picked the Columbus Blue Jackets over the Lightning. Massive upset. Game 2. No one had them.
All right, ready? Before you keep talking, raise your hand if you had the Lightning yesterday.
I mean, I didn't.
So the 2 guys that host this fucking thing lost, and the fucking intern out here cleaning out the house. So tell us why you picked them. I mean, I love Tampa Bay. I think they're going to win the series. We both have them in our bracket. So tell us why you picked Columbus.
I pretty much was at my intern section, which is very small desk in the corner, and I was wearing an Indians hat. And I said,
hang on. You have the dirtiest fucking desk I've ever seen.
That's last night. Yeah, that's a fucking issue. We're gonna have to talk about that. But
I mean, his last name is Roach for a fucking reason.
I don't even know what that means, but
this is the most we've heard out of him since this whole time we've been doing this.
Obviously, there's some beef going on behind the scenes between me and Eddie, but we'll handle that outside.
So can you just, before we dive into our topics today, let's talk about what we're doing with our Twitter account and our daily picks. How are we structuring it and how are we gonna put people on?
So we actually decided to do something on Twitter now. So
that might be a jab at me, Mr. VP of Marketing, getting a jab from the intern.
Roast level is pretty high today. The roast level is all the way to max.
Pretty much, I'm taking the reins on Twitter, and I got the call.
Promoted himself.
Yeah, I pretty much promoted myself. Well, Sandy came over and he was like, "You want to take over?" He didn't even ask. He just said, "You're going to take over the Twitter," and I said, "Give me the login. I'm ready to go." So now I'm taking it over. As you can tell, some of the content's been going out there.
It's, Jeremy, I will say, other than the fact that you just promoted yourself on live air, you did gain. We've gained over 100 followers in the last, 24 to 48 hours. So I will commend you on that. We're really going out with this strategy. I think, you tweet too much about the NHL. I mean, no one gives a fuck about the NHL outside of Canada. So
Well,
I think
it's not like we're just outside Toronto or anything.
but you
It's
know,
not like, yeah.
so I think other than the fact that your content might be a little dry on the other sports, I think you're doing a great job so far. So you want to just talk about who's going to pick going forward? Who's tomorrow's pick? Who we got on the calendar?
So today we got Simon. We call him Soup Can around here.
Soup Can. All right. Is that a
Terrible name.
self-proclaimed nickname?
No,
or is
that's
that,
actually his actual. Well, it started off where I think
What's his real
What's
name?
his username?
I don't know. Is it like it's
SP Can. JB said Soup Can, and now it's Soup Can.
What a
but
terrible name.
He picked the Avalanche today. 2-1.
fuck,
2-1.
I have
So-
the Avalanche, but I also have the under, so I'm split here. But I would rather have the Avs win, so Simon can
So
keep
pretty
the
much
track
we're gonna
record
keep
going.
track of our record. We're gonna keep you two probably last because you guys suck. But
Trust me, I give my picks on the YouTube, the main channel, but we'll keep
Okay.
Twitter
Okay.
for the amateurs
Yeah, so
like
Twitter-
yourself.
I'll piggyback an Avalanche pick, sure.
yeah, so we're gonna go once a day. We're not sure about weekends yet, but next up is Chris Peters.
Oh God, Chris says he has a lock tomorrow. He says he loves
He's
a
got
pick.
one already?
He says he has a lock, so he's gonna do a little weekend special
think-
for you guys. So you got to tune into our Twitter for the lock of the day
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I think the only law. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna let Chris do it.
You're like, well, yeah, no one's giving it to you, buddy. It's not your turn.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, look out for Chris's pick of the day tomorrow. Larry, you're a cute fucking dog, man. I love
Larry.
you. Anyways, let's
don't trip.
let's get right into today's discussion. Larry, buddy, we're gonna need you to exit.
I think Larry had a
the
few
set.
pints.
Larry, buddy.
Larry.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Drunk Larry.
Forget Larry for a second. I know he's cute as hell. Best office dog in the land. But today, we're going to start with a discussion about Joe Kelly. I know we talked about him early on in one of our first episodes and how bullshit that suspension was. But he went on a podcast, Ross Stripling, who's another Dodgers pitcher, and he said that he's still very, very pissed about the way the MLB handled the suspension. So he appealed the suspension. He got 8 games originally. He appealed it, and they knocked it down to 5 games. So they only took 3 fucking games off of it. So what do you guys think about that overall?
And forgive me for not knowing off the top of my head, but Joe Kelly's on the injured list right now too, right?
Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah, he's not. So I don't think it, but they don't count.
They don't count until he's off.
I
okay, until on.
I don't know if that's how it works, but I believe so.
It must
Yeah.
be. But like that is that guy even going to pitch this season?
After the suspension and then the injury, then the suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get in. I mean, he's a spot reliever, so he's not going to be consistent every game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll get back in is the thing. But here's the quote he says, every Astros player was involved in the cheating scandal, but the way that was run over there was not from the coaching staff. It was from the players. So now the players get immunity, and all they do is go snitch on him for his taunting for what he said after he threw at them. So he feels almost ripped off by the league. I think the league has done a shit job in that regard. I mean, how are you going to suspend a guy for 8 games? And you're not going to suspend the Astros for a fucking game for cheating. So weigh in on that from your perspective, Jeremy.
I don't see any Dodgers players really backing up Joe Kelly right now,
It was on
except for Ross Stripling.
Dribbling's podcast, yeah.
But I'm wondering how the fuck does the MLB make these decisions? Didn't the Oakland A's suspension guy, the center fielder,
Yeah, Larry
his
Lorado or whatever.
got put down 1 game? Like, what goes through that
Ramon.
process?
How many did he get again?
He got 6, and now it's 5.
He got 6 for that. Fucking worth it. Oh my God. Do you not? I mean,
He didn't do anything.
Did the bench coach that was chirping him get any games?
He
Do you
got
know?
20
He got 20 games.
Okay, well that.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
remind.
talking about his mom or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
He made a comment about his mom.
You could see in
I
the
don't-
video the angle from the outfield, the center field camera. You could see him like the player like Lariano chirping him,
Yeah.
and then the coach was like stepping out of the dugout.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like, what are
He
you
made-
doing?
buddy,
He
you're a
made the first
fucking
step.
bench coach in the
He's
league.
the
Like,
hitting coach.
oh, is it? Well,
Yeah.
that's a big role, but like, shut the fuck up. You don't play. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Your, like, I don't know if he was on. I think he was on the staff last year too. I don't know what his name is, but how do you? Oh fuck, that under's looking terrible. All right. Anyways, how do you think? Players. Do you think we'll see more altercations between the Astros and other teams this year, based off the Lariano suspension and now the Joe Kelly suspension?
Seems to be a trend so far. I mean, where does it stop? The suspensions keep getting lower and lower. I mean, there's only been 2, but
I don't know. I feel like what the A's guy did was way worse than what Joe did. I'm also a Dodgers fan, so that might be biased. But
both of them had the same outcome, right? Just benches cleared. So it depends on how you got there.
yeah, but
Joe
he
got
fucking
there from-
tackled Lariano tackled the guy. The Dodgers altercation didn't get crazy like that.
Well, the A's guys just ran at him, and then the 3 guys jumped in and
Yeah.
just took him to the ground. He didn't like.
It was kind of soft,
Yeah,
honestly.
he got suspended for charging at. It was because he broke the social distancing rules. I think that was more what the suspension was.
So is that why? So that's probably why Joe Kelly's did too, because they weren't wearing masks. Those guys were all in their faces, but they were just chirping. There wasn't as much chirping, I feel like, in the Astros A's thing as there was.
Like this.
The Dodgers was more like banter, like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy," like all that shit.
Yeah.
But I think, looking forward, I think we see more teams doing it if they're, especially if it's. I know Liriano's a good player, like he's one of their really good players, so it's kind of a loss to them, obviously. But Joe Kelly, spot reliever. Fucking throw at the guy. I mean, I feel bad for him nonetheless, but like if he goes out for a few games, it's not the end of the world, right?
Not at
so,
all.
looking at it that way, I think Joe Kelly will be back, and I think he's gonna be angry as shit. I think he's gonna come back, fucking throwing like 100+ miles an hour.
Wild pitches.
I don't know if the Dodgers play the Astros again, but I fucking hope they do. That would be epic.
They do.
Do
near
they?
The end of the year, I believe.
Yeah, because they play a lot of division games, obviously, with everything with COVID. But
they're trying to reduce the amount of travel. So
yeah. So okay, so we got that handled. So you guys, do you think he deserves the 5 games, even though it was reduced?
Yes.
yeah.
Why?
But it's fine. Like, take the 5 games.
Do you think it's okay? Is it because of the social distancing, or is it because what he said / mocked?
If we were playing a full regular season and there was no virus going on, I don't think he gets a suspension. But it's literally because of the fact benches were cleared. It was the first one of the season.
So you think social distancing was the reason?
100%.
Do you think the same, or do you think it's because obviously? Remember, Manfred said at the beginning of the year, if anything happens with Astros players, i.e., throwing at them, i.e., chirping them, I think that's more what it is.
I think it was
social distancing.
I mean,
honestly,
he didn't hit anyone, but it was
it
was
that.
obvious he was throwing at him. Like the intent was there that he was trying to do.
If you're gonna make the suspension about the fact that he was throwing, you got to have him kicked out of the game, right? Like, which he wasn't.
But I don't know why he was. Well, he didn't get kicked out of the game because he got pulled. Was it not? He got pulled.
But he wasn't yanked.
No, he was out of it. It was after the half inning.
Yeah.
He struck out Correa, and that's what he said. He goes, fuck you, bitch," or something like, "Nice swing, bitch."
I think the ump was just like, well, first of all, an ump can't kick a guy out that didn't hit him.
I think it's the
I've
fact
never seen that in my life.
I think it's the fact that the bench is
throw that
cleared.
many hard pitches in the same spot behind or to somebody's head. I mean, you're gonna wait for a third one until they actually get hit?
Yeah. So you guys both think he deserves that. I don't. I'm biased though. So I think most of the league thinks, I've seen Jared Carabas said like he deserves nothing, like no games, and then there's some guys that are like he deserves it. So we're gonna be split on this. We're both obviously split on this. So let's move on. Let's talk about the Maple Leafs postseason press conference. I know you guys, you're not a Leafs fan. You're a Leafs. Are you a Sens fan?
I'm a Sens fan.
You guys are both Sens fans, but so they like to hate on the Leafs. So this is a perfect segment for them.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the press conference yourself?
It was like a Zoom conference. They all had their own Zoom conference sort of thing.
So what was it entail? They were talking about the season, like how everything played out with the playoffs.
They pretty much got asked some tough questions on the air and what they think of the team. Do they think they should keep the core group? What happened? Stuff like that.
So Marner admitted he wasn't engaged in the first game. What the hell is that? I mean, it's a huge game.
$11 million not engaged.
Yeah, like how after hearing that, especially as a fan, like you guys aren't fans, but like as a hockey fan, you're playing in a big fucking game to get in the playoffs, and you're gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like I guess if it's the truth, that's one thing. I get it, but like don't fucking go and say that. Like that just makes fans pissed. That makes the organization pissed.
You can't say like he shouldn't have said the word engaged.
He was trying to back himself up, and it ended up backfiring.
Yeah, like you're getting paid $11 million. You're on the first
Better
line.
fucking be engaged, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Don't they have like a third or fourth of their payroll on 3 players?
Yeah.
The Leafs.
Yeah.
And like I heard that stat and I was like, that's fucking insane. Like they're betting on, what is it, Marner, Matthews, and
their
Tavares.
First line is worth
Tavares,
almost 50% of their cap. Almost 50%.
So like, do you guys think that's not like what do you think the winning recipe is for the Leafs? Like, what do they need to do to get past this step? They haven't won, what was it, 60 something years? We talked about that last time, but 53. He's got the number. What do they have to do to break the 53-year streak and actually win a cup? I can't believe I'm even saying that. Leafs and win a cup. It's like a mystery, but what do you guys think?
They're being faced with more questions than just that because the expansion draft is coming up. So they're going to lose somebody big if they don't start making moves now. Arguably, they're going to lose that guy anyway, though. So
how do expansion drafts work, though? Do they take as your top guys?
No, you get to keep how many? You would know.
I believe it's like 4 forwards, 3 defense, and a goalie. Or there's different formulas to it.
Yeah.
You can take like 9 guys or 8 guys overall in a goalie or something like that. But the Leafs have too many top end guys that it's just not going to add up for them, and the prospects that they have too. So they're going to lose somebody. So you got to think that they're, in terms of getting rid of players or trading players, it's not that simple for them this season as it could have been 2 seasons ago. I think the speculation is that they could end up losing Willie Nylander for absolutely nothing. And that's a guy that you can go out and trade and you can get a really good top 4 defenseman plus some for. So I think they're boned. Like,
you think they're screwed?
Whether they do or don't. So
What do you think? Weigh in a bit.
I think the problem is they need like some tough guys who can hit. But the problem is if you're too aggressive trying to get those, usually what happens is you go sign a guy and you end up paying way too much. Like look what they did with Clarkson there when they signed up for what, like $7 million?
Yeah, something
that's
stupid.
because they wanted grit and they ended up overpaying. He was terrible.
But
So
isn't it still too like a typical Leafs fashion wherever they'll go out and they'll trade for that grit player like they did Clifford, and then they'll just sit him on the fourth line anyway?
They should have put Clifford on like at least the third line.
Yeah.
Like mix it up a little bit and just tell him, okay, your job is to go out there and hit anything you see.
Like I've heard your comment over and over again about how Edmonton uses Cassian.
Yeah.
And it's so much better. They have Cassian sitting next to McDavid. Like you're spreading out that wealth so much better, and you're giving your grit guy a chance to show offense as well. So it's just spreading the wealth a little bit better. And
So you think they have to spread out the how they pay players a little more? And like that's a process though, right?
Well, they won't trade their big three. They won't trade Tavares, Matthews, or Marner. But
how old is Tavares, by the way?
He's
getting old. I mean, he's been doing it. Is he not
I
old?
don't think he's 30 yet.
Yeah.
Is he not? Okay, then he's fine.
Yeah, he's not that old.
How many years under contract do you guys know? Or how many left does he have?
He's got like at least 6 left.
He's 29 years old.
Yeah.
Do you know his contract by
I can
chance?
find it. Hang on.
Something
Keep talking.
stupid. Like
Yeah,
11 and a half million.
it was
for
a
like,
lot. But
they signed him for 7 years at the time.
Jeez.
They're not.
Where did he come from? Was he Tampa Bay?
The Islanders.
Islanders.
Yeah.
Why did I think Tampa Bay?
Who are doing better without him.
77 mil for a 7-year contract.
Yeah, so he's
Holy
6
shit.
years
Oh,
left.
that's insane. So literally 11 a year. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, so they're paying 3 guys 11.
What's like the highest hockey contract? Because I know baseball's
He has
crazy.
5 years left on that contract.
5 years?
years.
It'll be McDavid right now.
I'm saying, what is like the threat? Like, what is the number on it? Do you know?
12.
12 and a half.
12 a year?
12 and a half.
People in baseball are making like literally,
Yeah,
like
they make
in the
way
middle
more.
of the tier guys are making that. If
But
not
there's no
the
cap.
worst. Yeah, that's
There's
true.
no cap.
That's
And
true.
there's not as well. Baseball has such a bigger like revenue share than hockey does.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it's crazy to think fucking McDavid, dude. Like
Well,
he's
even basketball and football, like they're just so much more higher
same.
paid than hockey.
Yeah, I mean
same.
they're all 3 of those sports are more popular than NHL. Not to say that I don't love NHL. You know, this last month for me has been great with everyone here. You know, I've watched more hockey in the last 2 weeks than I have in probably my whole life, honestly. So, been betting it, not been winning, but love the sport. It's gritty as hell.
Yeah.
But let's jump. I want to talk about something that we've discussed over the few episodes is the bubble scenarios. So, with the NBA, with the WNBA, with the MLS. There was 3 straight weeks of no positive tests in the NBA and no reported outbreaks in the WNBA. And then out of 191 people in the MLS, there was 0 positive tests. So we all talked about the bubble. Could it work? We were like, we think it will, but it's going to be kind of tough. Looking back to what we said, what do you guys think about it now? Like bubbles in general.
Genius.
Yeah, it's working out. I mean, I thought it was going to work out from the start. Like you put people in a bubble, you border it off.
It worked. Like I thought it was going to work. Like they would get games in, but like I didn't think it would go this smoothly. Like the quality of NBA games right now. Have you guys? I know you guys obviously watch them, but like Portland, you're watching teams like the Suns, like playing like they're fucking all-star teams. Like it's
8-0 and get eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, that. I mean, we can talk about that in a second, but I think the quality that we've seen in terms of competition. I watched MLS because that was the only thing on other than basketball at the time, but. Even the MLS games were fun to watch. Like it was just good sport, live sports after months of nothing, right? So I think it far exceeded my expectations. I was confident that it would go on, but not to this tier or this caliber of performance, I thought. So thinking about it that way, let's talk about the NBA and the teams that shocked you. The Suns, they missed the fucking playoffs going 8-0. How is that like?
Well, they kind of figured that could happen. Honestly, given what they were up against, it's just they couldn't mathematically eliminate them.
It sucks, because that's the thing is like they still had a chance, like even the slightest chance they wanted to play, right?
Yeah.
But like it was contingent on like other teams like Portland, San Antonio, Memphis, who are still in the fight for it, right? Other than San Antonio, but
Who Who gets the play-in game?
It's Portland. We're about to talk about that, but
Okay,
it's Portland versus Memphis.
And it's double knockout.
So how it works is Portland's the 8 seed, Memphis is the 9 seed. So Portland has to win only one of the games.
Yeah.
So if they win once, they advance and play the Lakers. If Memphis wins the first game, then they play a second game. So Memphis has to win 2 to advance because they're the 9 seed.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that now that we're here, let's talk about that. Let's just get right into it. Memphis versus Portland. Memphis is the 9 seed. Portland's the 8 seed. Do you think Portland takes it? I mean, I don't see any other avenue, honestly. What do you guys think? We're gonna note. I'm noting this down. So
yeah. No, I took Lillard to win the bubble MVP. I'm gonna stand by that. That
yeah,
guy,
I took Booker, but I think it's a lock that after the last game.
I saw a stat last night. It was like Lillard's last 3 games, he scored 156 points.
Yeah, 156 points in 3 games, so over 50 a fucking game. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
that's record. I mean, my buddy Tommy, shout out Tommy, is the biggest Dame Lillard guy. He chirps my buddy and I about how much we hate on him. I just think, Dame puts up the stats, but let's see some results. I don't like his playoff resume is shit, to say the least. I mean, he got what did they have? They had a high seed last year and they didn't do anything. So
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see this year, but I think in the play-in scenario here with Memphis versus Portland, the fact that Portland only has to win 1 game and Damian Lillard's on like the hottest streak of his career, arguably, you can't pick anyone else. So I'm going to go with Portland.
Yeah, I got Portland too.
The other half of that though is, the hell is it? I think it's McCollum, who's literally playing with a broken back.
Yeah, how's it?
He's got
even.
I didn't even know about that. Does he have an injury?
Vertebrae or something like that?
He admitted that he's playing with a broken back, which I don't even know how that's even possible.
So, like, if you want to math it up, like, what are his average points per game? And what are his points per game now?
Here's the quote. Sources inform me McCollum actually suffered the injury in the first game of the restart against Memphis when he drove for a loose ball and was kneed in the back by Jaren Jackson. He has been treated daily. So it's apparently pretty serious. I didn't even know. I knew he was like, he had something going on.
Yeah.
But back injury.
Fractured back.
Is it fractured?
Well, something like that. I thought I heard the word fracture somewhere.
Yeah.
An L3 vertebral transverse process fracture.
Fracture. That's what I heard.
Holy shit. And he's still out there. I think that speaks lengths to how badly Portland wants to win. And I think that drives my pick even more. Like that makes me want to put Portland, as a Lakers fan, I'm worried about Portland. I think they're going to put up a fight. I don't think Lakers will go win in 4 and 5. I think it will go to 6.
But with my argument, how many points does McCollum put up on an average night versus how many is he putting up now versus what's the spread on how many points Lillard's now putting up? Are they actually doing more offense with Lillard being...
Well, Lillard's taking way more shots. He's scoring more points. So CJ's not scoring as many. But yeah, he had...
kind of a wash.
Yeah, he had... Last night, CJ had 25. He had on 9 and 21.
Oh, shit, okay.
25, but he shot 21 field goals. That's insane. He didn't make 1 3-pointer. So I think the injury is playing on him because he's a sharpshooter, man. I mean, he missed 6 threes and then missed 11 jumpers. Like he missed more shots than he made last night. So the injury is definitely weighing on him. But Lillard's putting up, 50 plus a game on average in the last 3. Like
shooting from.
How do you bet against that? I literally cannot bet against that. Honestly,
no.
Oh my God, Byron scored.
What?
Oh my God, Byron scored.
Oh,
I had the over team total. I had a
oh my God.
5 unit. I had 5 units on Byron over 1.5 today.
Here we go.
And the bet hit in the first half. That's another win, folks. Note that down. Hey, for all you at home,
he's got to bet
note
on
that
soccer
down.
to win.
Yeah, this guy.
I'm drinking for free this weekend. Cheers to that. I'm drinking for free this weekend. All right, let's continue.
Okay.
Let's do. So now that we know, the only matchup we don't know is who the Lakers will play, but we know every single other matchup. So let's dive into that and make our predictions, and then we'll revisit them as this progresses through. So
I don't want to take any heat on this. I'm not a basketball.
You showed. Hey, you're on suspension. You showed up, so you got to face the smoke, Dev. I'm telling you, you got to face the smoke.
He's also the NBA insider.
No,
I bet you
that's fake news. That's fake news.
Who's the NBA insider in the
I would
office?
say I'm the NBA insider. I'm self-proclaimed. I watch a ton of NBA, but let's just dive right into these picks, all right?
Retract my NHL insiders. Can I go to like football so I don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, we'll wait till football season. We'll see. We'll do our picks, and over the first couple of weeks, we'll decide who the insider is. You have to earn your fucking stripes.
First 3 weeks, whoever has a better record gets the tag.
No free handouts.
Like a talking stick, like a badge.
All right, so let's... No, you don't get a fucking badge, all right? You just get the title. The title is prestigious in this office. You got to earn it. Anyways, in the West, the first round matchup, LA Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. Who do you guys like? I'm noting this down. That's a
Dallas.
All right, I know who I'm picking, but Jeremy, tell me who.
I think that series goes 7. There's no doubt, but
I don't need your games. Just make your pick.
I got to go with the Clippers.
Clippers, all right. Mr. Cold Streak himself. Who do you have?
Well, I gotta go to Clippers as well. I mean, you can't bet against the Clippers regardless who they're going up against.
Yeah.
I mean, like Doncic and Porzingis could go real hot, but I don't think it'll be enough playoff Kawhi.
I'm going to take the Clippers as well. I wanted to take Dallas here in this spot, but I think they win a few games. I think it goes deeper than we think, but the Clippers will get
to see Dallas play anybody else.
Yeah, I know.
Happy to take
It's a
Dallas.
tough.
really
That's a crazy
tight.
matchup.
I think
yeah.
the West was like super tight. Like 8-1 is like deadlocked.
So we all picked Clippers, pretty boring, but I think ultimately they're going to get it done. I think it's the first round. They're going for the ship this year, as are a lot of other teams. So I think they get this done. So let's move on. The Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz. Who do we like here? Jeremy.
I'm taking Denver.
Denver. Dev.
What's their injury situation like? They got a lot of dudes that are like questionable like every single game.
Jamal Murray was
He's
had an
playing
injury, but
though.
He's back.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's back. I think he's a baller, but fuck, I don't know. Give me your pick first. I'm still kind of thinking. I'm looking at injuries too because Denver.
Yeah.
Jokic is healthy. I know that.
Yeah.
He's a
Guy's a
baller.
beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's like one of the best players in our fantasy. In our NBA drafts, Jokic is always like a top 10.
Yeah.
Like, every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Screw it. Give me the Jazz.
wow, Devin, I hate that you picked the Jazz because I am also taking the Jazz. Give me that money. I think Denver's good, but
Our trend
it's
line
playoff
is
season.
insane.
Anything can happen.
Did it
Anything
just
can
get
happen.
cold as fuck in here?
Jeremy's like, yes, thank God. They're bringing their bad mojo elsewhere.
These guys just picked. They do everything together.
No.
eh?
Jeremy just
right.
loves picking the high seed.
All right, last matchup in the West. OKC versus Houston. Who do you like?
Houston. Yeah. I gotta go with the Rockets.
Yeah, Westbrook's
Yeah,
not gonna,
that's-
both of them, Westbrook and Harden, are not going to lose to a
Well, I mean,
former
Harden's
team.
balling too. Like, he's going crazy. Westbrook
always-
wants the playoff season. Like, it's interesting to see how they'll do this
They
year.
want it. Like they'll go far in the playoffs, and who knows if they have what it takes, especially on defense, to win anything big.
Yeah.
But they're not going out in the first round.
No.
They're not going to let themselves do that.
Noted. All right, so I got all that. Let's just talk. Okay, so let's assume the Portland wins. Lakers versus Portland. Who do you got?
Lakers.
Shit, man. Did you see the Lakers play yesterday?
Yeah, but they're resting everyone, asshole.
LeBron played.
Yeah, but then he's not playing major minutes.
He looked terrible himself, though.
All right, so
I think
hey,
he only played the
keep that
first
same
half.
energy. As I say on Twitter, if you follow me, I always hashtag keep that same energy to Lakers haters, which have been present all this year. So we'll see you in the playoffs. But
I mean, I'm not looking over to a Lakers.
Take Portland. Take
I'm
Portland.
not going to look over to a Lakers fan and
Portland.
expect them to
You
agree
got
with me.
at this point. You got to take. Portland.
Yeah,
I got to
you're-
take Portland. Look at
You're smoking.
We've already talked about them.
That alcohol
What?
must be working over there.
I remember my first beer.
All right, so are you taking? Who are you taking?
I took the Lakers.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I have so much risk versus reward here. I could
Yeah, if
either
you
look
win
like
this,
a donkey.
if you win
It
this,
would
I
be a
might have
massive-
to suspend myself from the
Yeah.
next few
well, I
episodes.
either look like
honestly.
a donkey that don't know basketball
to work
anyway.
for a week.
Yeah.
Or I win like majority of my picks and I look like a fucking god.
Yeah, if you win this pick, you actually redeem yourself fully.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not happening. Sorry about it. So,
But I don't lose anything if I get it wrong because like
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it-
Because
yeah.
everyone has Lakers.
It goes on
so.
the record as now.
well
Besides the fact, let's move on to the Eastern Conference and tackle some of these matchups. Bucks versus Orlando, 1 seed versus 8 seed. Anyone stupid enough to pick Orlando at this table?
No.
nope.
Okay, I'm just gonna write. Everyone takes the Bucks. Okay. Next, Toronto versus Brooklyn. I mean, you guys are fucking Raptors fans, so
Yeah,
this
of
isn't even fun. Oh my god. I mean, if this is not a lock, hey, do you guys like money or do you hate money?
What?
If you like money, I mean, you should have hammered this pick. I mean, I have 5 units on this thing.
Who bets soccer?
I didn't even
Bayern
know this.
versus, what do you mean? FC Barcelona versus Bayern? It's Champions League, guy.
Did not
do you
know
guys
that
hear
this game was
kid
gonna
right now?
happen.
I don't
Honestly.
bet soccer.
No, do you hear this kid? Why do you bet soccer? I don't know, because it's like the Champions League. Maybe because it's the most popular sport worldwide. I don't know. Do you need more excuses? Messi, you got top players in the world on the pitch today, and I'm betting it, and we're winning.
There's an
winning.
Arizona Coyotes game on, and nobody knows who these guys are. Who
Yeah.
Like,
Who-
we should actually go and like just walk downtown like Kitchener and just be like,
we
who
should do a
plays for
segment.
Barcelona? And you'll never get an answer.
Yeah, because no one in Kitchener, no one in fucking Canada
Yeah.
watches anything but fucking NHL. But no one outside of Canada watches NHL.
So we win.
It goes both ways. Anyways, what do you take, Jeremy, for Toronto versus Brooklyn?
Toronto.
Raptors.
100%.
Raptors. Yeah, we all take Raptors. Even though I hate to take them, I'm not a fan. But
Levert last night had
Raps
a game
all the
and
way.
a half, though.
yeah, I saw that. Yo, he was balling. And Pete, I feel like he's not getting the credit he deserves, especially because they're missing obviously KD and Kyrie, and also Spencer Dinwiddie, who's like another top guy for them. They're missing their top 3 players. I guess Levert's in the mix there for top 3, but
They're going to get slapped.
they're gonna get slapped. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna get slapped. So everyone takes Toronto. All right, let's move on. This is an interesting series to me: Boston versus Philly.
Why is it interesting?
Because I feel like Boston's been sketchy and Philly's also been sketchy. Like
Ben Simmons
is
is
hurt.
not gonna
Ben
play.
Simmons isn't playing.
Boston, I don't know. Boston's been playing like shit in the bubble, but the Lakers played like shit too in the bubble. So I feel like you can't take a lot of these teams.
Boston's going in confident. They've sat their starters like the last 2 games that they played. They don't give a shit. They're going in. They're worried about Philly. They don't care about anything else. They're going to be good. I think.
So we're all taking Philly then.
No.
Or sorry, Boston. We're all taking Boston.
Don't give me Philly.
All right, Boston. All right, Miami versus Indiana, the last one in the East. Who do you like?
I'll take Miami.
Do you have any reasoning behind that? Or you just think they're?
I think they're pretty good. I think they'll make a run.
What about you, Dev?
Pacers. TJ Warren.
Pacers are sleeping. Yeah, people sleep on the Pacers. I'm gonna go with Miami, just because. No, people sleep. No, people do sleep on the Pacers. Why are you fucking laughing? It's a fact.
You just commended me for my pick. You're like, yeah, but I'm going to do the opposite.
Okay,
People sleep on the Pacers. I'm gonna go Miami.
People sleep on the Pacers doesn't mean I'm picking the fucking Pacers. I'm just saying. I think people think this series will go faster than it will. Like, I think it will go 6-7. It will be a gritty game. TJ Warren was just hurt too. I don't know if you guys keep up Mr. Status Update. I don't know what you have on
Yeah,
that.
okay. Well, there's a lot of guys on the injury.
This guy runs the stats in our office, or is part of the team that runs the stats.
There's a lot of guys on that injury report that are like, oh, we don't want to say that we're.
I mean, he'll
resting
play,
him.
but I'm just saying he
always
has an
say
injury.
that he has
He's
a
on
knee
the
injury.
report,
Yeah,
so
we
that
need-
could weigh in.
We need
so.
some insider information.
Yeah, we need
here.
JB on this podcast. Honestly, you obviously
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about, but
We know who he reports to. And it's JB.
anyway, so
I am so ready for this round one to
so
be
you
over.
you have Pacers. So we
Yeah.
differentiate a few. We were kind of close on each of the picks, but
Yeah.
we both take Miami. You take Pacers.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Are you locking that in though?
Oh yeah, 100%. Give me the Pacers.
Another point for you, Sandy.
Holy shit. Okay. I might actually pass out on set right now. 4-1. I had the over 1.5 goals, so they needed 2.
Well, they don't.
Can you tell me what minute the game's in for fun?
It's just
31.
holy.
Is that
shit.
good? Is that good?
dude?
30
Like,
If you bet
minute?
the over and the line's at 1.5 and they have 4, only a third of the way through the game, is that good?
well,
I
they
don't
never
bet a lot.
They never score as many goals ever.
Well, only when you have insider info. Shout out my boy Mason for this pick. It was a lock.
Oh yeah. I
Anyways.
needed a Mason to tell me that fucking there was a soccer game on too.
Yeah, the Champions League. We're not going to rehash on this. You guys are too much. All right. Well, good
Our
thing
friend's named
we're
Mason.
making jokes. This is the end of our episode today. We talked NBA. We talked the success of the bubble. We talked Joe Kelly. A lot of great topics today, boys. Really enjoyed the conversation. Happy Friday. We will see you guys on Thursday.